No, no, strap him down but leave his stomach uncovered. That's where the tadpole will spawn from. No, no, strap him down but leave his stomach uncovered. That's where the tadpole will spawn from.
The man in charge shouts the directions. He tears through the cupboards in the small house, discarding the unrequired items with crashes on the floor. Across the room from him is a bare-chested young man being strapped to a table by a giant blue bipedal frog with twisted ashen horns and two massive spiked claws on the back of each hand. The frog easily holds the young man down with one hand on his chest as it binds him to the table. As the frog finishes the work, the man in charge stands up with a large glass jar in his hands and a gleam in his eye, and he smiles to himself as he walks over to the table. The young man's cries of pain intensify as he struggles against his bonds, and the skin of his belly expands upwards quickly before retracting.
It's almost time,
the man with the jar says calmly as he strokes his small black beard.
Orobok, no matter what happens, I need that tadpole alive. I only pray this time that it's green,
he says to the giant blue frog. Orobok lets out a low, rumbling chirr as a response, which seems to satisfy the man in charge. He steps closer to the young man before inverting the jar and placing it firmly over his abdomen. He holds it there to the best of his ability, and the young man's spasms continue. He moves the jar along with him, and during the struggle, a small red gemstone on a leather thong works its way out of the man in charge's robes. The amulet gleams in the candlelight, and Orobok's eyes snap towards it, stealing the entirety of his attention, and a darkness settles over his amphibian face. The young man lashes the table, lurches one final time, and ceases to move. There's a moment of silence as the bearded man concentrates on the jar, and Orobok covets the amulet. Then there's what can best be described as an explosion as some small creature erupts from the dead man's abdomen to the back of the glass jar. The bearded man snaps up the jar and screws on the lid with a speed that belies his age, and a cruel smile forms on his face.
Orobok, look. Your brother is green.
Hey there, creatures, and welcome to Encounter This, a podcast exploration of the creatures from Dungeons & Dragons and the lore that surrounds them.
Hello there, creatures. Welcome to the fourth and final part of Amphibruary. I am your co-host, Freeman Zanzost Heiston. And today I am joined by my usual co-host. You know him as James Chorst Kid, of course. And he will be bringing us through a creature that he has been talking about doing for a very long time. Since we started this, I think, we started dividing up creatures that we wanted to claim for ourselves. It will be the Slaadi. These are, I read these a long time ago, but I remember almost nothing about them. But if you want to follow along, you can find them on pages 274 to 278. That's 4 whole pages of the monster manual. And I didn't know this, but we're going to be looking at a page from the module Rime of the Frost Maiden, apparently, on page 265. So spoilers ahead, I guess, if you're playing that adventure.
Yeah, so if you are playing the adventure, there's a little bit of a spoiler there. There's not a lot, and it's not like a proper spoiler, but we'll let you know when we get there. I have been talking about doing Slaadi since pretty much day one. I don't know what draws me to these creatures, but I absolutely adore them. The aesthetic, the concept, like everything about them, I really enjoy. I like how grungy they are. They're like these grim, dark, giant humanoid toads, and their lore is really, really cool as well, which we'll get into.
Okay, sweet. I'm excited.
Before we start, I should put up a little bit of a disclaimer. Against my better judgment and all of Freeman's warnings, I decided this was going to be one episode as opposed to a suite when it really, really should have been a suite.
We talked about doing Amphibruary. You're like, oh, we'll just do Slaadi at the end. I was like, didn't you say that would be like a whole suite? And you're like, nah, it's not that bad. It's not quite suite worthy, but it'll be a little bit longer. And,
yeah, it is. It still isn't quite suite worthy, but it is going to be a longer episode. So strap in.
Yeah, fair enough.
There are, I think, 6 different stat blocks that we're going to go over.
6. Okay.
And,
all right. Big one.
There's a lot of lore, a lot of which I cut for the sake of time and convenience. So
Okay.
we aren't going to get nearly as deep and detailed with these as we could, though it's still going to be to the same level that we normally do. Though there will be no cultural lore whatsoever in this episode. It has been pre-cut for the sake of time, ambition, and my mental health.
We've already gone through frog facts this month, so it's fine. We don't need more.
Okay, digging in. Slaadi, episode 4. So these creatures appeared every edition, 1 through 5th edition. They have been around forever, and they have a common ancestor to a bunch of other creatures. Some that we've covered in the suite, including bullywugs, and some that we are yet to cover, like doppelgangers, Kuatoa, Lokatha, and 3 creatures that don't have a 5e analog but are still really worth looking up. The Civ, which is essentially a grung again.
Yeah, I mentioned those in either Bullywug or Froghemoth.
Yeah, Taco, which is like I don't want to say a humanoid, but definitely like an octopus that uses tools.
Okay.
And the Kopru, which is another frog-like thing. I think that one's probably got origins in Asian culture, but I have no information, nor did I bother to find it.
Fair enough.
Because they don't exist in 5e.
Yeah.
So the common ancestor between all these I want to call them amphibioids, but that's not necessarily true, even though they are all technically amphibians.
Right.
They're called the Batrachi.
Okay.
They are a created race from Abertorial, and they are led by the deity Ramenos, which we touched on in Bullywugs.
The sleeping god and or primordial.
Exactly. And the word Batrachi comes from Bactrachian, which is a Latin term for a tailless amphibian, specifically in the Anura order.
Oh.
And that's as real world as we're going to get, because I just thought I wanted to know where that came from.
Okay.
That's a really, really cool
Cool.
word. So all Slaad are humanoid with long claws and nails, with these long, wide mouths and sharp teeth. That is about the only common thread between each and every Slaad. They are all different.
Okay.
They vary in appearance greatly from size, eye proportions. Some of them have wing things. Some of them have snake-like hair. Some of them have more claws. Like they're as varied of a race as you can possibly imagine.
Neat.
They absolutely prize this level of individuality.
Okay.
So they're super proud of the differences, and that's why each one looks different in the monster manual, but each one under each of those I'm going to say cast again, even though that's not technically true.
Order
is order, is very unique.
Okay, cool.
They live in gangs of about 6 to 10, though they could theoretically live in single units or as many as thousands. They haven't been known to have armies, but also they've kind of had an army or two. It's really weird and varied, and it changes, so you can do whatever the fuck you want with Slaad.
Cool.
The single form of the word is Slaad, and the plural is Slaadi. So if we interchange those words, please forgive us. It is a very confusing plural.
I'm going to call them slatopusses.
Slatopusses. Perfect. Slatopie. They operate in an undisciplined hierarchy based on deference to power. So it's not a social structure so much as it is a conglomerated respect that's, I want to say, bred into them, but it's more at like a genetic level.
Yeah. Okay. So you mean like literal physical power?
Literal physical power, yeah. The strong rule the weak simply with brute force. And it usually goes red and blue are ruled by green, green are ruled by gray. And Death Slaad are akin to kings and are thought of as the other ones as perfect.
Oh, Death Slaad. I like the sound of that.
Yeah. Though in our edition, there are rumors of more powerful Slaad known as Black and White.
Mm.
They are nomadic creatures and have no permanent homes, and they rarely construct anything, shelters, or even use tools. They're always on the move, searching for food or singular displays of chaos. They're native to Limbo, which is the chaotic neutral outer plane in the Great Wheel, which has a constantly shifting landscape. And living in Limbo, they were essentially provided for. All they really needed was food and chaos, which they got. So they have no real concept of ownership.
Okay. Like ownership of like material goods.
Yeah, material goods, yeah. And because of this chaotic, nomadic nature, they revere strength as the greatest, if only, virtue. And they often flex against others in a gang, and this is seen as an acceptable pastime.
Oh, okay. So basically, they roam around, and the strongest are leaders because the strongest probably help them survive against any threats. And because that's about the only thing they really attach themselves to, they just they oil up and Greco-Roman wrestle in front of each other.
I think they just bully each other,
okay.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't tend to resort to violence against each other, though it does happen, yeah. And some of them are shape changers. They can change into the creatures they were spawned from, and these then tend to return to the mortal plane to sow more chaos. So the only thing they want in life is chaos and change.
Okay, so creature that were spawned from. I have a vague idea in my head what that is going to mean, but again, I don't remember much about these creatures.
Yeah, so we'll get into that.
Okay.
But first, we're going to touch on something called the Spawning Stone.
Mm.
So this is gospel in 5th edition, as far as I can tell, but it was just a theory in other editions. Long ago, Primus, the Lord of Mechanus, which is the lawful neutral domain, made a giant stone infused with the power of law. He then cast the stone into Limbo, believing it would bring order to the realm, but all it did was absorb the chaos.
Okay.
As its power grew, it became possible for creatures with calm minds to settle in Limbo, specifically Githzerai and Mordrons, which we'll touch on in other episodes. Mordrons are little clockwork creatures native to Mechanus, and Githzerai are one of the two Zerai and Yankee. But the chaotic energy absorbed by this stone spawned horrors that eventually became known as the Slaadi. This stone is now referenced to as the Spawning Stone, and as creatures of pure chaos, their natural enemies are the Mordrons, and they will attack them on sight. And immediately after their creation, they raised every Mordron enclave in Limbo. They hate these things.
Okay. I find it so strange. So you have these lawful neutral creatures, the Mordrons, and they entered this chaotic neutral realm, and then they're immediately attacked on sight because they're lawful. But like, what are they doing there? That's what I'm kind of wondering. And do they attack on sight as well? It sounds like a whole lot of chaos because something lawful is around.
Yeah, I mean, it's not far off. But that's it for the Spawning Stone lore in 5th edition. So we'll touch on the reproduction here. Each color of Slaad reproduces in a different way. Red spawn blue and green, and they reproduce by implanting humanoid hosts with eggs. Blue spawn red and green through a disease known as chaos phage, and green transform into gray and death Slaadi. So they essentially undergo this metamorphosis.
Okay, so okay, all right. So they're laying eggs within people. That's why they can shape change to the form that spawned them, essentially.
Yeah, so they can form, change their shape to the humanoid host that spawned. So that's blue and green specifically. Red are spawned through the disease known as chaos phage.
Crazy. Do we have more information on chaos phage?
We have more information on chaos phage in a little bit more.
Okay.
Spoiler: it's in the religion section.
Oh, okay. Go. I'll wait then.
There's a huge paragraph on Forgotten Realms about their culture and their society, but I just decided to condense it down pretty aggressively
Mhm.
here. Coercion and trade are seen as nearly impossible with the Slaadi, so you're more likely to be attacked. So they're not a race you do business with.
Yeah. They're not up for negotiations.
No, and they tend to refuse to see reason, so even if you try and barter with them where they will win the barter, they will then react with rage. And they see flattery exclusively as trickery. There is no possible way you can flatter a Slaadi, and it will immediately enrage them.
Why are you wasting my time? Just die already. Chaos in a nutshell.
Yeah, so instead they'll use cruelty to get what they want because it's been normalized in their culture.
Mm.
And other beings aren't anything to them. They're not concepts to be bartered or traded with. They're just tools or toys to get what they want. And they love conflict and despise war. They see war as a corruption of their ideals. If all fights for one cause, it destroys their individuality, which I just thought was awesome.
Oh, that is kind of interesting. Yeah. And because they're so proud of their individuality. That is kind of neat.
They all can't believe in the same cause.
Yeah. It's funny how strongly they can believe in individuality and avoid such a thing, but yet they have so many shared things, such as these things like not trusting flattery or refusing to barter or some such.
And they don't have a religion per se because they don't recognize traditional gods or primordials. They do, however, have their own pantheon called the Slaad Lords, and they were in first and second edition, and they're more like demigods or the demon lords. So think more like the Demogorgon or why are all the devils are slipping my mind right now?
Beelzebub. I don't remember them either. Asmodean.
Yeah, Asmodeus is the leader of the devils. He's more like a god than a devil lord, but you know what I'm talking about. The one from the cover of Descent into Avernus is a...
I'm throwing down what you're picking up.
Yeah. So we have a couple of these here. They're not all of them. There is more. The first is Bazim Gorag, known as the Firebringer, the champion of chaos, specifically through murder and mayhem.
Mm-hmm.
There is Chorst, the Lord of Randomness, who is inconsistent and embodies chaos.
Is that why you gave yourself that nickname?
I thought it would be a fun antithesis.
James embodies chaos. Best joke of the show.
Right? Renbu, the Lord of Colors, who is pretentious and artistic with the power to alter hues and patterns, which I thought was really cool. Like you can just decide one day that plaid is now polka dots.
Does he actually change it, or does he just say no? You now have to call plaid polka dots.
I mean, the power to alter hues and patterns, so I would imagine so.
All right, okay, yeah.
Norsar, the Many, who is able to pull hundreds of copies of itself from other moments in time to the present. Mm-hmm. There's an issue of X Factor Investigations where Quicksilver does that, and it's really neat.
Oh, sweet.
Sendam, the Lord of Madness, who is the essence of insanity, whatever the fuck that means.
He's the quintessence. Is that kind of bullshit? Yeah.
I guess so, yeah. Yagorl is the Lord of Entropy and the personification of death and deity. This is the top of their pantheon. This is their Zeus, Yagorl.
Okay.
And Ore Nas is not one of the lords, but she is a Slaad lord because she bloated and converted her lover's corpse into the phage breeding grounds. The phage breeding grounds are layer 53 of the abyss, and they are an endless mass of decaying intestines made from the corpse of Ramenos, god of the bullywugs.
Holy shit. So she was she was lover of Ramenos then?
She was one of Ramenos' lovers, and she ended up murdering him, bringing his body to the abyss and turning his decaying intestines into a level of the abyss where the phage, chaos phage, the disease is contrived and bred.
That's fucked up. That's so cool. I mean, that explains, because I remember touching on that with the Bullywugs, where Raminos was like, there was like a very brief note of like, people aren't even sure if he's still alive, or if he's just sleeping, or where he's at, or what, because he just doesn't do anything. But there's the evidence, not alive.
He is dead and layer 53 of the abyss.
That's so messed up.
Yeah.
I love it.
This is why I sent you that message the other day, that we may have just chanced into doing this in the exact right order.
We really did. This is so good.
And the last thing we're going to touch on is a variant rule that exists in 5th edition called control gems. So in early editions, when emerging from the spawning stone, it implanted a fragment of itself in the Slaad's brain. You can actually see it in some of the art from earlier editions. Here's a green Slaad from 2nd edition where you can see the stone in its head.
Oh yeah.
So this shard takes the shape of a magic gem about 3 centimeters in diameter. In the book, it says it's about the size of a baby's fist, but as somebody who doesn't own a baby, I have no fucking idea how big that is. So I just assume it's about 3 centimeters.
You don't own a baby?
No, I'll never own a baby.
I'm like looking around my room to try and figure out what might be comparable.
Yeah, so
half the size of your mouse. How about that?
Okay. Yeah, about 3 centimeters. And this is located on the forehead just below the skin. Though another creature can use magic to take the gem, and whoever has the gem can then control that Slaad. The Slaad is immune to charm while being controlled. And it actually lists a few spells that can take the gem out, which is imprisonment or wish. Or if you're feeling crazy, you can attempt a DC 20 medicine check to remove the gem. If you fail, it deals 4d10 damage to the Slaad. And the spell Greater Restoration can just straight up destroy the gem.
Okay.
And then
so we have like an So if you destroy the gem, do they die?
Nope, they just can't be controlled anymore.
Oh, okay. Oh, so I mean, would they not go out of their way to destroy their own gem? Is there a reason they are attached to these things?
This is a variant rule, so they don't give a whole lot of information in 5e.
Okay.
This is just a way to allow you to control them, essentially. There's no reason for it.
Because I'm also thinking too, like this seems to be rare, because the order of operations isn't that the original Slaadi were spawned from the spawning stone, but then from there they can continue to spawn new ones, but they're not related to the stone. So really only a rare few would have these control gems.
Exactly.
So like using this variant rule stands to reason it would be an extremely rare circumstance.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sending you a bunch of the 1E art in the chat right now. In order, we have the red Slaad, the blue Slaad, the gray Slaad, and the death Slaad. And this art is terrible, and I love it so much.
Not only is it terrible, they're all in black and white. There's no color here at all.
There's the green Slaad too. Like, it's just,
they take your word for it.
Yeah. I labeled all of our art very carefully this week.
I want one of our listeners to throw those into paint and paint them for us.
Okay. And there's the Death Slaad from 2nd edition. You can see the gem on its forehead there.
Oh yeah.
And each fragment of the gem has different markings that are unique to each Slaad. So as it kills, partakes in duels, conquers things, the gem takes on these markings and these runes that are specific to each Slaad.
Gem feels like a bit of a stretch of a term based on what we're looking at there.
Yeah.
Like I think gem, something that's a bit more shiny and whatever. And this looks like a kind of a flat carved disc or something.
Right. It is under the skin, so like there's that. But
oh yeah, that's okay. That's fair. That's fair.
And there's a Death Slaad from 3rd edition, which is just batshit. That's such mental art.
It looks like a really weird action figure you'd get in like the 80s, 90s.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a He-Man villain.
What's that sword? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that sword.
Oh, that's a good one. Check out Instagram on that one, guys. Yeah. I can't even describe it. It's got like two sets of like winged things coming out of it for no reason at all.
It was very clearly drawn in the 90s where things were just so
Yeah.
extreme. Like, even his staff has way too many barbs on it.
I know you might not get this one, a listener might. It kind of looks like what passed for a badass sword in like early World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Where it's like, it's not really badass. It's just like super cheesy nerd design, like mall ninja kind of shit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I definitely don't get that.
Yeah. Someone will. Someone will be like, oh, now I get it.
Okay. And here is an image of all the colors in 4th edition.
Okay. Wow, yeah, a lot of variance in size and shape there. Cool.
And that's it for the lore. We have a couple of honorable mentions here. The first is Sorel, which is a Death Slaad lieutenant of Yugorel, who is training to become the Lord of Anarchy.
Okay.
This appears in Dragon Magazine number 221. The next one is Jean Jost, is an interplanar researcher and writer, whose style was marked by tangents on food and their inability to count.
Okay. What?
Yeah, so imagine you're reading like a research paper and they just go off on this side tangent for no reason about an orange. And when they're doing math, they're just completely incapable of addition or like counting numbers whatsoever.
Oh my god. And that is a named honorable mention.
That is a named honorable mention. That is a blue slide that appears in both the Inner Planes from 3rd edition and the Faces of Evil, the Fiends from 4th edition.
It's hilarious. I can count. Thank you very much. I don't know why you gave me that nickname.
It was just my favorite.
I do go on tangents though. So that's fair. Yeah.
There's a lot more named Slaads. These were just the two that I thought were the coolest. Like the one
Okay.
training to become the Lord of Anarchy, and one who was like writing this very serious thesis and just 1, 7, 15, 6.
Yeah, and this reminds me of an interesting analog that I often use in the construction of hot dogs.
Yeah.
What?
But it's thematically appropriate, right? Because they're
Yeah.
chaos incarnate, so their inability to
Yeah,
count
can't
makes sense
focus very
because
well.
counting is order.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true.
Counting was one of our first steps to ordering
Right. Yeah.
as a species, I guess.
As a society, we live in a society.
Yes,
Yes.
correct. And we have a couple of variants from other editions. The first is the Gormeal from 3rd edition, which is spawned as the antithesis of Slaad and usually allies of Githzerai. There's an image of them on Forgotten Realms, but it's really bad, so I didn't even bother.
Okay.
The next one is the Mud Slaad from 3rd edition, which is the goofiest looking Slaad, and it is the lowest rank and is considered cowardly.
Okay. It's got some nasty looking teeth, but it does look like it looks a bit like a plush toy, an ugly plush toy.
Yeah, if you've ever seen Batman the Animated Series, it has the same smile as the Mad Hatter.
Totally.
The next one is the Black Slaad from 3rd and 4th edition, also known as the Void Slaad. They are rare and powerful with entropic abilities. There's a picture from 3rd edition.
Oof. That's creepy. They just look like pure shadow.
Yeah, they're really neat.
They've absorbed all light around them.
I love that art so much.
Painted with Vanta Black.
Yes, yeah. Well, there's another one that's more black, but yes.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, 99PI has a great episode on black.
Crazy.
The next one is the White Slaad from 3rd and 4th edition, aka the Kronos Slaad, and it has power over time and chaos itself, whatever the fuck that means. I imagine this is just like Golden Sonic with all the Chaos Emeralds, and that's what this means.
It looks like a character from like a bad borderline claymation like fighting game from the 90s.
Okay, this is the exact same CGI as Colm Fior had in the Chronicles of Riddick.
Oh my God.
There's your deep cut of the episode.
Holy jeez. There's a lot of art here, and some of it's great, and some of it's so bad. There's a wide range here. The Instagram's gonna be packed this month, guys.
Yeah, it really is. But that's it for Slaad lore. We got through that a lot faster than I thought we would.
All right.
Which brings us to a quick reprieve
Oh boy.
of our very own Void Slaad, Blackmail.
Vanta blackmail
I like that.
for all your for all your mechanical needs. Paint me a picture with the Vanta blackmail.
Blackmail, the best kind of mail.
You'll never illuminate me on this subject. Okay, I'm done.
All right, we got a bunch to go through here. I put each stat block on its own page, so it should be easier to navigate and hopefully makes more sense.
Cool.
Because they're not small. So the first one we're going to go over is the Slaad tadpole. This is the creature that explodes out of you because they are gestated like xenomorphs, essentially.
Chest burster.
Yes, exactly. In Rime of the Frost Maiden, there's a variant rule where players start with a secret that is to be revealed either in a specific time in the story, which the module does specify, or come up in roleplay.
Oh, right, okay.
One of those secrets is Slaad Host. A red Slaad has implanted a pellet-sized egg in you before you started your adventuring career. You have 2 months to get rid of it, or the egg will gestate inside you, and a Slaad tadpole will burst from your chest, killing you. It will then quickly grow into an adult Slaad and kill even more people.
So good.
Yeah.
And this came up in our game.
It did, yeah.
It came up very quickly, in fact.
Yes, very, very quickly.
We didn't wait 2 months before our Goliath barbarian decided they were pregnant, even though they were male.
Well, spoilers. There is you were not far off from the part in the adventure where it says this would be a good time for the Slaad to burst out of your host's chest. Yeah, yeah. The book specifies good times for these secrets to come up.
Yeah, But I thought we had destroyed it before then, didn't we?
You did, yeah.
Or did we think we did?
No, you did, yeah. You were, but you destroyed it maybe 2 sessions before we got to that point in the adventure.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
the first 2 chapters are a
awesome.
sandbox, and this is one of those that come up in the sandbox. Yeah. The tadpole is CR-18, 10 HP, AC 12, tiny, chaotic, neutral, aberration. Understands Slaad but can't speak, and it has damage resistance to acid, cold, fire, lightning, thunder, dark vision 60 feet.
Hot damn.
It has the stats of a tadpole that you would imagine they're real bad. I'll let you guys look them up on your own. And it has one ability, which is magic resistance, which will be a constant through all these advantage on saves versus spells and magical effects.
Okay.
It has a single attack, which is a bite. It is a +4 to hit, 5-foot reach, and 1d4 +2 pierce.
Okay.
The tadpole fully grows into an adult 2d12 hours after escaping.
Sorry, you almost said sad Paul.
Yeah, I know. Well, it is a sad pole.
It's so sad. Okay, cool. I love it. It's got 10 HP, but it's got all this resistance, as if it's going to matter.
Yeah.
I guess continuity.
Well, you never know. I mean, maybe it's. I mean, I guess setting the seed is probably the appropriate terminology in every sense for the rest of the adventure. So, like this could be a great. You're sitting at a bar or a diner having dinner, and this Slaad pole comes out. A la Spaceballs.
Right.
And I really do think they made a misstep here, not calling it the Slaad pole.
I mean, yeah. Like, just embrace the pun. Do it.
It's right there for you, Wizards. You can have it for 6th edition.
Our gift to you.
Yeah.
So many gifts we've given.
If you mail us a C&D, our next gift will be not covering 6th edition. The next Slaad on our list in order of ascending CR is the Red Slaad, aka the Blood Slaad. CR 5, 93 HP, 14 AC, large chaotic neutral aberration. I love the art for this in the monster manual. The 5e art for this is what really drew me to Slaad in the first place.
Oh yeah, yeah. It looks like a pretty vicious creature.
They have a strength of +3, con of +3. Their mental stats are all -2, and their dex is a +1. They also have magic resistance.
Beefy boys.
And they have a couple of abilities. They also have magic resistance, same as the tadpole. And they have the same DR as the tadpole: acid, cold, fire, lightning, thunder. And I should mention they speak Slaad, but only via telepathy, and their telepathy is a range of 60 feet.
Okay.
And dark vision 60 feet. Their second ability is called Regeneration. At the start of the Slaad's turn, if it has 1 HP or more, it just auto regains 10 HP.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's such a pain in the ass to track as a GM, but boy, can really mess with your players. You'd be like, how much hit points does this thing have? You know?
Yeah, the regeneration, the magic resistance, and the DR already make this a deadly creature.
Yeah, I always wanted to be like, I just try to think about it. I don't always remember, but like if someone crits a creature like this, and then the regeneration kicks in, like that's like maybe your cue to go, and you see some of that wound heal up, and you're like, what? You know, but otherwise I just keep it close to my chest and not tell anybody.
Yeah.
But if they crit, you know, and get a big hit and maybe give them a little something.
Yeah, always. They have a couple of attacks, specifically multi-attack. They can attack with 1 bite and 2 claws. Their bite is a +6 to hit, 2d4 +3 piercing. Their claws are +6, 1d8 +3 slashing. But if you remember, this is one of the ways they respawn. So if they hit, the target is required to make a DC 14 Constitution save, or they are infected with a tiny Slaad egg if they are a humanoid. This is considered a disease. Each host can only carry 1 egg, and over 3 months the egg moves to chest, forms a tadpole. 24 hours before giving birth, the target starts to feel really unwell, and its speed is halved, and it has disadvantage on all checks, attacks, saves, and skill checks. And then, at the appropriate time, it chews through the host's vital organs in 1 round, immediately killing the host.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So quick.
The disease can be cured before the tadpole emerges, disintegrating and destroying the tadpole inside the body.
Damn. Oh, man, there's nothing here to tell you to indicate that you need to tell the player.
I wouldn't until they started to feel unwell.
You like roll me a con save, and they roll it, and you're like, okay. You move on. They're like, what the hell was that? You're like, well, I don't know.
That's 100% how I would play these creatures.
Yeah. And I've done that before, but something with something far less deadly than this. And then all of a sudden they feel unwell. Speed half, disadvantage in all checks, and they only have 24 hours to figure out what the hell it is. And even then, like, how do you pinpoint that? Like, would you just allow a medicine check to discover that there's an egg in them? Like, that's
so. If
so
I
many things
remember correctly, you guys used, I think, a divination check or one of those weird magics.
Okay.
You hired a cleric,
like some sort of spell. Okay.
Yeah, you hired a cleric in Bryn Shander, and it was specifically V our Tabaxi and Braun our barbarian at this cleric, and they hired him to do something, and it was some sort of, it was divination or augury or some low level spell like that, and that's how you got that in.
Right. Okay. And then Braun's like, I'm pregnant?
Yeah.
Idiot. He was dumb, but we loved him.
Yeah, he was genetically male for the listeners.
Yeah. And extremely stupid.
Yeah. I think his intelligence was his dumb. His intelligence was
very
emotional.
His dumb
stats. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Michael just played himself. I'm only saying that in hopes that Michael listens to this episode.
Won't happen.
He won't, but I hope one day.
Next up on the list is the Blue Slaad, aka the Talon Slaad. They're a CR7, HP 123, and AC 15. Also large chaotic neutral aberration. Also speak Slaad only with telepathy 60 feet. Have the same DR, acid, cold, fire, lightning, thunder, and dark vision again. These
Cool.
are your beef boys. These and beefcakes.
Okay, yeah. I don't know why I didn't think these things would be large. I thought they'd be medium, and then there would be some of them would be large, but they're just like large across the board. It seems, eh?
Well, spoilers. You're
Is there some-
right. Some of them are medium.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. All right.
Yep.
We're just covering the beefy boys first.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Their mental stats are also their dump stats. They have a strength of 20 or +5 and a con of 18 or +4.
Ooh, we're level 7.
Yep.
Or CR7, yeah.
They also have advantage, or they also have magic resistance and regeneration, the same as the red Slaad, and they also have multi-attack. But their bite this time is +8 to hit, and 2d6 +5 piercing damage, so we've increased a die size there. And their claws are also +8 and 2d6 +5. The blue, however, if you remember from our lore, infects you with Chaos Phage. So again, humanoid only, also a disease. DC 15 con save. If infected, you cannot regain HP. Period.
Oh my god.
Your max HP
What?
is reduced by 3d6 every 24 hours.
Oh man.
If this reduces the target to 0 HP at any time, it immediately becomes a red Slaad, or if it has the ability to cast spells of 3rd level or higher, it becomes a green Slaad.
Oh man.
Only Wish can revert this change, though you can cure disease to remove the Chaos Phage.
Right. But once it happens, only Wish can turn it back.
Only Wish can turn them back from a Slaad to a human.
That's gnarly. Not a massive DC, but still.
You guys are 9th level and you're still failing DC 15 con saves.
Oh yeah, the math is so small in 5e. That variance is so big.
Yeah, it's a
the
5%
chances-
5% variance for each number on the die. Yeah.
Yeah. Oof. That's wild.
Yeah, that's
Terrifying.
that is a bad one.
That's a PC killer right there.
I mean,
Wow.
3d6 is no slouch. Like that's
Yeah.
maximum 18 HP you're losing every 24 hours.
And again, you don't have to tell anybody that they got it. This is just happening and they got to figure it out.
I wouldn't until they tried to heal because they cannot regain HP
Right.
either. So this will fucking end people very, very quickly.
Oh, so brutal. I love it.
And the next one is the green Slaad on the list, aka the Cursed Slaad. CR8, 127 HP, AC 16, large aberration, shape changer in parentheses.
Okay.
They also Slaad, telepathy 60 feet, DR is the same, senses is the same, but they also add 30 feet of blind sight.
Okay. Oh, blind sight. Hot damn.
Yeah.
That's no slouch.
Green Slaad, fuck.
Or you could say they don't fuck around.
Yeah, also that. They take a bit of a strength hit, so strength is only +4, their dex is +2, their con also takes a hit to +3, but their intelligence goes up to 0, their wisdom goes up to -8, and their charisma goes up to +1.
So they're mostly in the positives now instead of half in the negatives.
Yep. And we're only halfway through the Slaad list, for those of you keeping track.
Oh my god. Amazing.
So their abilities, they have the same magic resistance and regeneration. They also have added shape changer. So with one action, they can polymorph into a small or humanoid. So with one action, they can polymorph into a small or medium humanoid, or back into its true form, which is the green Slaad. And its stats stay the same, but it reverts back to the green Slaad if that form is killed.
Okay. So but they're obligated to go down a size when they do it.
Yes.
Okay.
And that would be changing back to the creature that spawned them, essentially.
I guess there aren't that many large humanoids, though, are there?
I can't think
Or are
of
there?
one. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe giant has the subtype humanoid, but I think the subtype is just giant. So
Yeah, I think so.
we also add spellcasting at this level. Charisma is their spellcasting modifier, so +1, and DC 12. I thought this one was interesting because they don't list spell attack modifier.
Oh.
Probably because their
That-
spells don't require it.
Yes, I was just about to say that I did a quick scan.
Yeah.
None of them are actually single target attacks.
Yeah, it still would have been
Um,
nice for them to add it, but
Yeah.
I mean, you can figure it out. It's Their spell. It's
the
their charisma
same
plus
formula.
their
Proficiency plus
Proficiency,
8. No, sorry, just the charisma plus bonus plus proficiency.
Yeah, so it'd be +4 at this level.
Yeah.
And at will, they can cast Detect Thoughts or Magic. Mage Hand. Twice per day, they can cast Fear and Invisibility self only. And once per day, they can cast Fireball.
Right.
They also have multi-attack. 1 bite or 2 claws or staff, or 2 hurl flames.
Okay.
So bite is +7 to hit, 2d6 +4. Claw is the same, but 1d6 +4. Staff is the same, but we're back up to 2d6 +4, and it's piercing, slashing, bludgeoning in that order. Hurl Flame is +4 to hit, which is their spellcasting modifier. 60-foot range, 3d6 fire damage, and it ignites flammable objects.
Oh man, you could do 2 of those.
2 of those, yeah.
I mean, it's a low chance to hit, but still, well, lower. But it's ranged. Wow, hot damn. I gotta say, like, sometimes I love when like a creature is given a weapon automatically in the stat block, but the lore doesn't really. It gives you reason to wonder where the hell they got it. You know, it's like all green Slaadi have a staff, but like, what if that green Slaad had come from the blue one, causing the phage onto your PC spellcaster? So where did they get the staff? You know, so you might ignore that, or if you want to get really macabre, maybe once the tadpole comes out and properly grows, they just like rip the spine out of their their host and use that as a staff or something.
Yeah. I imagine if it was created from a humanoid staff, it would be their arcane focus or religious symbol.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Like, grab onto their arcane focus, something like that, and attach it to like a stick or attach it to something. Doesn't necessarily have to be a staff, I guess, but
no, but
yeah.
I like that idea. Is that this is like a remnant of the human they used to be? Is this arcane focus that they're using as a staff or have attached to a staff? And it's just a pile of skulls on top of a wooden stick.
Mm-hmm. And I already want to say, like, as far as the spell list goes, we talked about this like, not that long ago, I think. I can't remember which creature it was, but, you know, I think it was Flame Skulls most recently. By all means, adjust that spell list by, you know, based on what the host had, I would say.
Yeah, 100%. Like, if it comes from your PC wizard, give it your PC wizard spells. Like, why the fuck not?
Yeah. And that's where you'll need your spell attack bonus, you know, to do that formula and that math, but otherwise, totally.
Well, remind me when we get into homebrew how I would homebrew the green Slaad specifically, because I have thoughts on it.
Okay, sure.
The next one on the list is the penultimate Slaad. It is the Gray Slaad, aka the Rift Slaad or the Executioner Slaad. CR9, also 127 HP, AC 18. This is a medium chaotic neutral aberration, also a shape changer because they are spawned only from green Slaads, as we learned in the lore.
Mm-hmm.
Same telepathy, 60 feet, same DR, same senses, including the 30-foot blind sight. Strength goes down a bit here, so it's a +3 strength, but the dex goes up and the con goes up. So +3 to strength, +3 dex, +3 con, +1 int, -1 whiz, and +2 charisma. So we have increases across board except for the strength.
Yeah, and they've gone down in size too, so
yep.
That is sort of reflected in their lowered strength and higher dex.
Exactly, and I think it's done so well. We have the same shape changer, regeneration, and magic resistance abilities, but we add magic weapons, so all of their weapon attacks are magical, and spoilers, they have a weapon.
Okay.
And they also have spellcasting, but we shift everything up a level, so it is also charisma, still no ability score modifier, or still no bonus here, but it's +4, so it would be +6 to hit. DC 14. At will, detect thoughts and magic, mage hand, invisibility, self-only, major image. Twice per day now. We have fireball, fear, fly, and tongues. Once per day, plane shift, self. Awesome.
Okay.
Perfect list.
Plane shift is like the big get out of jail free card. Like, I'm noping out of here.
Yeah.
Like the first time we covered that was in Rakshasa.
Yes,
It's like that was like their big thing. Like, yep, they just nope the fuck out when they're about to die.
And as they should.
Yeah.
They also have multi-attack, so 1 bite and 2 claws or 2 greatsword. Which
Greatsword. Okay.
which counts as magical for the purposes of bypassing damage resistance.
Mm-hmm.
They have a +7 to their bite, 1d6 plus 3 piercing. Their claws are also +7, 1d10 plus 3 slashing, and their greatsword is 2d6 plus 3 slashing. So it's not better, but it's not worse.
Is it not a little odd that these things have great swords, but they've gone down a size and bumped up their decks?
Yep.
Like, why greatsword? It seems like an odd choice. I get that they're executioners, but like, you don't have to chop the head off. But even then, an axe would be better. But
greatswords aren't spectacular for getting through bone.
Consider a different weapon, listeners.
Yeah.
I mean, they're evened out on strength and dex, so it's not that the greatsword's a bad choice. That there's something necessarily that a dex weapon would be more preferable, but it just does seem when you just match it with the fact that the strength has gone down by comparison and the size. It's just all right.
It probably has to do with the hands. So I think greatsword is versatile, whereas a great axe is not.
A greatsword is versatile?
I thought it was. No? Okay. I trust you.
No, I don't think so. I think because a versatile is going to be pretty medium in size. A long sword is versatile.
Oh, maybe that's
but a great sword definitely not. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's mandatory two-handed.
It is
That's
not.
what makes it so great.
Oh yeah, it is. It is heavy two-handed. So
yeah.
So I don't know. I don't see a whole anything like as far as the Slaad go. These are the only ones that I'm not thrilled with. I still love them, but these are my least favorite of them.
Yeah. I just had a thought. Apropos of nothing or this a little bit. You just made me think of a rule that has kind of always annoyed me, and maybe there's a borderline solution that I'm about to steal from a video game. I've always really disliked the idea of having the fact that, like, if you want to dual wield, both weapons have to be light weapons. I like this. I kind of, I want to dual wield, 2 long swords, and it might be a little more flavorful. And maybe there's a something to say about balance for that. But so like in Dark Souls, that series in general, I mean, this is the math that I remember it having anyway, is that if you wanted to dual wield the same weapon, and there were some weapons that were automatically available for dual wielding, they were paired weapons, but like if you had 2 longswords, you wanted to dual wield them, you had a minimum strength requirement to carry one, and then you had to exceed that strength requirement by 50%, I think it was, in order to be able to hold one in your offhand with equal alacrity, if you will. And I feel like I wonder if you could justify that in some way. The reason I thought of that was because you have this equal strength and dex with this slot here, the gray one. It's got a 17 plus 3 plus 3, and it just made me think, oh, how cool would it be to have, like, maybe not just like 2 long swords, but maybe that because they're evened out, you can like make a ruling that one hand can be the long sword and one hand can be the short sword, and sort of like utilize both stats at the same time, or the long sword not being a light weapon, and which by the rules would be disallowed. Anyway, just popped into my head because I really hate that rule, especially with like. I guess I wouldn't push too hard for 2 long swords per se, but it really bothers me that my offhand can't be a light weapon, while my main hand is a heavier one. It doesn't have to be heavy per se, but like a long sword and a short sword, why the hell not? I mean, you can do it, but the rules is written you can't add your proficiency to your offhand like that, which I just think is dumb. I don't really like it.
Yeah, I hear you. I'd be inclined to agree with you if the main hand weapon was finesse. Dual wielding is notoriously difficult. Like, it is very hard. Anybody who out there who's even tried to play the piano or drum, like getting that left hand up to snuff is fucking hard. So I would never in any game allow somebody to dual wield two martial weapons where they weren't where one wasn't light and one wasn't finesse. Like, if you came to me and you're like, I want my rapier and my strong hand and my dagger and my offhand, there's historical precedent for that, and the rapier is a finesse weapon.
Sure.
So I don't see why you couldn't do something like that.
Anywho, tangent over. Is there any more about the Grey Slaad?
No, not the Grey Slaad. We have one last one in 5th edition, and we are going to jump right up to CR10 with Death Slaad, a.k.a. the Lesser Masters. HP of 170, AC of 18. Medium Chaotic Evil this time as opposed to Chaotic Neutral. Aberration Shape Changer. Same as the other ones, Dark Vision, Blind Sight, same DR, same Slaad Telepathy. We see our Strength bump back up to a +5, Dex is +2, Con is +4, Intelligence is +2, Wisdom is 0, and Charisma is +3.
Nothing in the negatives on this one.
Not a thing. Same magic resistance, regeneration, magic weapon, and shape changer as the other ones. Spellcasting shifts a little bit this time. We have a DC 15 and a +7 to hit. Same at wills, detect thoughts, magic, mage hand, invisibility, self only, major image. Twice per day we have fireball, fear, flying tongues, and once per day we have cloud kill and plane shift. And the plane shift is not limited to self.
Oh, okay. So they could nope you out if they want.
If you fail that charisma save, yep.
Yeah. Hot damn.
And they also have the same setup as the Grey Slaad, so it's a bite or 2 claws or 2 great swords. But the bite is +9, 1d8 +5 piercing, and 2d6 necrotic.
Oh, it's dealing necrotic damage.
Yep. The claws is 1d10 +5 and 2d6 necrotic, and the great sword is 2d6 +5 and 2d6 necrotic.
Hot damn! So just like tagging necrotic damage into everything.
If you were to min-max this, you're doing 1d8 and 4, 8, 10d6 necrotic per round.
Whew. That is not a small amount.
Nope.
Although I've seldom been a level 10 character, I feel like in 5e. That's weird.
Yeah.
It's hard to like wrap my head around how much that's going to affect my character, but still it's no slouch.
Yeah, if it targets you with all 3 of its multi-attacks, like it's not gonna feel great even if you are a 10th level barbarian or fighter. That is it. That is Slaad.
Okay. They're very I guess they it's reflective of the lore, I guess, but the stat blocks are very straightforward.
Yes.
There's nothing alarmingly unique about any of them. They've got basic stuff that's easy to understand. I guess the only real extra flavor comes from the spellcasting. And then that can be jimmy rigged a bit based on especially the green one spawning from a particular spellcaster or something or some such, and I don't know how much that would carry over to say the Grey or the Death Slaad, but they're cool. They're resistant and they will pack a punch, but they would be quite easy to run.
Yeah, I love these creatures because I think they check every box for me as a GM. They are medium to hit, medium HP, but they got a lot of DR. They got a lot of senses, like blind sight 30 feet is kind of a big fuck you to players at level 9.
Yep.
They've got magic resistance on top of that, so you throw a fireball at them, they're going to get 2 saves and then only take half the half damage if they succeed or half the damage if they fail. Like, that's a huge fuck you to casters. And then on top of that, they're going to regenerate 10 of that HP back at the beginning of their turn.
Oh, man. Yep.
And then any of these big boys can just like, no, I don't feel like playing anymore, and just nope themselves onto a different plane. And then whenever they feel like it, come back, cast invisibility on themselves, and just sneak up behind you and fuck you up with a greatsword.
Yeah. This reminds me, the regeneration reminds me of a recent episode in one of our favorite podcasts, and like they're fighting this creature, and they're like, "How is it not dead yet? Like you've given it fake HP." And like was yelling at the GM.
Oh, yeah.
It's like it's not right. And then I'm looking up the creature. The GM's like, "Don't do that." And then I looked up the creature, and I was like, damn thing's got regeneration. That's why. It was like regenerating like 10 or 20 HP per turn. I was like, oh, that's that bastard.
High level Pathfinder play is a bitch.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That is a little group of guys known as the Glass Cannon Podcast. You may not have heard of them yet, but I think they're going to be big.
One day they'll make it.
These kids, I think they're going to do great things.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, I am so happy with every one of these stat blocks. I mean, the Gray Slaad could use a little bit of work, but the homebrew potential on the Green, Gray, and Death Slaad, I think, is just amazing. Like, if you can get a PC early on, like, I want to run a Slaad campaign. Like, you know.
Yeah, I was about to ask, do you see these guys as a large campaign, or do you see something bigger than them, but they don't serve it, but maybe are manipulated by it, you know? And these are like the first, half or first 2/3 of the true big bad and overarching story. Because I love the idea of like early on, like really like, fucking up one of the PCs and you manage to like, kill them, or they turn to a Slaad or something like that. And it's like so brutal. And then they're fighting more powerful ones as they go. And they're so focused on them. But then somewhere behind the scenes, it turns out these are just the, unwitting pawns of. Is that something you would do, or?
Yeah, so I'm loath to spoil it, but I honestly don't think I'm ever going to get around to it. But the idea that I've had in my head is this stranded mind flayer, like this surgical mind flayer that hunts down these Slaads and pulls the control gems out of their head. They have like this armory of Slaad control gems. And early on, like 4th level, I would introduce a blue Slaad, and I would make sure somebody gets infected with Chaos Phage, and I would make sure that PC dies of Chaos Phage. As soon as they hit 5th level, they start to feel real gross and real bad, and at least one of them goes for Chaos Phage or whatever level they get 3rd level spells, because I want them to be a green Slaad. So I would then take their mental stats and add them to the green Slaad, but keep the green Slaad physical stats, and I would consistently reintroduce this green Slaad. When they get to 7th level, it shows up with a couple more blue Slaads, and they know what this blue Slaad can do by now. And then the green Slaad then just invisibilities themselves and gets the fuck out of there, or uses one of that PC's 3rd level spells, because I would also keep that PC's spells and spell slots.
Right.
Then I would bring that green Slaad back as a gray Slaad. This executioner Slaad who has this intimate knowledge of the party. And then when the gray Slaad was destroyed, I would have them nope out of there. And then I would introduce them to the campaign villain, at 9th or 10th level, what have you, probably 10th level.
Yeah.
Introduce them to this Mind Flayer. And the Mind Flayer then introduces this Death Slaad, but he introduces the Death Slaad as the name of the fallen PC. And their penultimate battle is against their old PC in the form of a Death Slaad. Again, keeping whatever's highest of the mental statistics and then the physical stats of this Death Slaad and the spell slots. And just rock, one Death Slaad and like 2 blue Slaads and, like just this Slaad invasion.
Yeah. You're making me want to do is like, I don't know if you remember my idea when we covered Illithids about the extraordinarily large cranium rat swarm that becomes entirely too intelligent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I do.
And you're making me want to like have this focused on this do almost all of what you've said here, like, just copy what you're doing to a degree, but like it's all set in this like plague-ridden, rat-ridden massive Victorian like metropolitan landscape, and uh, and everyone knows disease going around. Everyone knows that rats are everywhere. Everyone knows it's filthy and dirty, and everyone knows there's nothing much they can do about it. But like here we have mind flayers in the background, and these Slaadi are like some of the more obvious dangers, but they don't know that they're being controlled by such and such. Like when you said mind flayer right away, I was like, oh, but they're like a disappointing CR, I remember. And then I was just like, oh, what did we cover in Illithids? What about the Alhoon? What about the Elithrid?
Yeah,
and then
I was thinking the
throw a
Alhoon,
slithering tracker in
this
there.
creature that's been cast out of Mind Flayer society because all it wants to do is collect these chaos gems and sow fear and chaos among the human population and feed it that way. Like Jack the Ripper, but Jack the Ripper is this Illithid, and it has this army of these toad soldiers.
But even the Alhoon is only CR 10. I just looked it up. And so it's equating the CR of your Slaads. I'm like, how can you go even bigger? How can you go farther? Elder Brain, right? But like, how can you go farther than the Elder Brain? Elder Brain's CR 14. Massive homebrew cranium rat king swarm.
Oh yeah, that would be really cool too.
Like I would like make it CR 18 or something, and I would make the entire metropolitan town its lair and homebrew lair actions and lair effects, and like through the whole campaign, the regional effects that you would get with a creature like that are like it's literally everything happening that seems like status quo in this dark and dour time, but it's actually because of the regional effects of this massive cranium rat king. Oh, that would be awesome.
I love it.
Just like, you get through all the Slaadi, and then you're like, and you're fighting Illithids and Alhoons and Mind Flayers along the way, and you're unraveling this conspiracy only to find out it's a giant swarm of rats. That's not unlike the worm that walks. Remember we covered that?
Yep.
That'd be so much fun.
I mean,
like who needs Strahd? Come on.
Yeah.
I'd probably just steal Barovia and just replace all of the
just steal Victorian London.
creatures.
Like we could actually just find a map of Victorian London and just rename all the streets.
Oh, that would be wicked.
Let's do it, man. I'm here for it. Let's write
to
it.
play that. We're writing it. Let's do it. Listeners, with more of your support, we can afford to put the time in. Let's start a Kickstarter.
We could. I'd be open to that. I've always wanted to write a module. And we're talking about like level players get up to level 10 at max, and we do the cranium rat swarm at like level 13 or CR 13 or 14.
I want it to be bigger.
Oh, okay. I would want to.
I'm currently feeling ambitious in this moment.
I would want to max the players out around 10th level, because as soon as they hit 11th, all of a sudden we start hitting like god and superhero status. And
5e gets pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean they all get pretty crazy. What about you? Anything? Have you ever run Slaads? Have you ever wanted to run Slaads? Have you ever thought about running Slaads?
I feel like I probably thought about it at one point. I have this. It may not be an accurate memory, but I feel like I had this very specific memory of reading about these in. I used to go to this cafe when I lived in Melbourne, and I would sit there. I would be it would be so obvious. People would be there with their laptops, and and it was like a very bougie hipstery cafe. It wasn't even cheap, but the food was so good. And I would just sit there in the day, and I would pull out the monster manual and I would just read it. And it would be so obvious. I'd have the physical book in front of me, and I would go in all the time. And they just kind of got to know me. I think they thought it was kind of funny, but obviously I didn't give a shit. And I feel like I remember reading these creatures while sitting at this sort of communal table that they had there, and I loved it. And I remember thinking about how fun these things would be run, but I have no recollection of what I would have done with them. So I don't have much. It's all very vague in my memory right now.
Okay.
But I love the idea of utilizing that control gem thing on the enemy side. I think I would follow suit in that. That's definitely what I would do, rather than utilize it to. I mean, you could. I wouldn't turn down the entire idea of making sure a control gem was possible for the PCs to acquire. But I would center the danger of these Slaadis based on that someone else has them and is utilizing them, for the heroes to take down. Like you said, I think I would definitely do that.
If you really wanted to nerf them, I think they could be a really cool like animal companion for a ranger, like a CR5 blood slad.
Yeah.
With a control gem. I think that could be kind of cool, like specifically like a Gloomstalker or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
If Gloomstalkers get animal companions, I've never played a ranger in 5e.
I forget. I think they'll have to take the Beastmaster subtype.
Oh, maybe.
Or what do you call it? I think, yeah. So I think no. I think there's only one type of ranger that gets one.
Okay.
It's been a hot minute for me too.
Yeah, but I could be cool to give the party like this chaotic evil to throw it back to the GCP, like a Razzmatazz-esque giant toad.
Yeah. Yeah, like, it could be like a pseudo companion that just like wants to be chaotic and murderous, but you disallow it.
Yeah,
all the time. Yeah,
constantly going against its nature.
For those who don't get that reference, GCP they had a red cap. Did we cover red caps?
We did cover red caps. Yeah.
Yeah.
In
April,
April
a red cap with
last
a
year.
named Razzmatazz.
I think we name-checked Razzmatazz in April.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Okay. And it was so funny, and he just wanted to murder everything all the time, and it's such a great like comedic relief for a short time.
Yeah. And that that's how I would play. Like I don't think I'd give them like a blue slad or like a green slad, but like this red slad who only wants to cut people to infect them. I think that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
And like can't communicate because they only speak slad.
Yeah, they just keep making these weird croaking noises in your mind.
Yeah. Could be fun.
Yeah, that could be pretty fun.
But what about you, listeners? Do you have any experience with Slaadi? Do you have a homebrew for the Void or the Chronos Slad in 5th edition? Get at us at Twitter EncounterPod or Facebook.com/EncounterPod or Instagram at Encounter.pod. If you want to check out some of those past episodes, like the Red Cap from Fapril, you can find that at our website at EncounterThis.ca, where we have our entire back catalog of episodes, free of ads and free of charge. But if you do want to give us some money for whatever fucking reason that might be, you can find us on patreon.com/EncounterPod. $5 a month will get you a handwritten thank you letter and access to our show notes. You can see the documents we use to produce these shows if you want a little behind-the-scenes action. For $10 a month, you can suggest a creature, like our most recent Gorojumo from 13th Age, where we got a throwback from Jonathan Tweed on that one, which made my life.
Yeah,
Jonathan Tweed, one of the creators of 13th Age and one of the lead designers for Dungeons & Dragons in the past editions. Super cool, super vindicating. But if you want us to, cover a creature in Pathfinder and then try and get Jason Bowman to name check us, we are fucking. And all of that gets you access to our private Discord as well as our $1 tier. So you can pop in there and tell us immediately how wrong we are or how right we are.
Well, that's why they might want to give us money, James. You always say you're not sure why, but what realistically what they can do is they can access our private Discord and slad into our DMs.
Ooh. I'll allow it.
I was literally like sitting here smiling to myself, but I'm gonna put it in.
I have no doubt. But thank you for listening to this episode, and we hope you enjoyed Amphibruary, even though I personally believe it should be pronounced Amphibruary.
Go home.
It's our portmanteau. We can decide where the slice is. The slice could be after the R. It doesn't have to be before the R.
But when we disagree, you say we can decide. But when you and I, there's only two of us. Who decides? Where's our swing vote?
Well, that would be when the listeners come in at that $1 tier. Slide into our Discord and vote. Is there an R in Amphibruary? Is there a second R in Amphibruary is probably the more accurate way to say that.
There we go. Our newest Patreon goal. We'll have swing vote polls.
Oh, yeah?
On really, really trivial issues.
Those are the only ones we disagree on.
At the end of the day, yeah.
Thank you so much for listening, and we will get at you again in 2 weeks with our very next episode, which will be our next episode. I don't have it in front of me.